Gender Differences in Sexual Attraction by Group 18. In this presentation, we will demonstrate our findings on how beauty is defined, how beauty differs between the different genders, and how social psychology affects how we define beauty. Before we are able to understand how the definition of beauty changes between the genders, we must first understand how beauty is defined. Many claim that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, meaning that beauty is defined differently by everyone who defines it. While this is absolutely true, the different sexes tend to have different priorities when determining physical attractiveness in intimate partners. How we associate good and bad traits with people can affect our perception of their physical attractiveness.
A study done in 2018 by Julia Gonzalez Alvarez and Teresa Severa Crespo sought to discover how the different genders associate good and bad traits with physical attractiveness. They did so by using a 3D face-generating software called FaceGen. The researchers would create a face, then show the face to a participant who would rate the attractiveness of this face on a scale from 1 to 7. Along with the face, participants were shown a sentence that would either have a good or bad connotation. Sentences like, "this person is kind," or "this person is a felon," would be associated with the faces to create positive and negative associations about the face's character. The researchers wanted to see if the associations about the face's character affected how attractive the faces appeared, and if there was a gender difference in perceived attraction.
The results confirmed both of the researchers' hypotheses. Faces with negative associations were rated significantly less attractive than the faces with positive associations. There was also a gender difference in how the faces were rated. Women rated the faces significantly less attractive when there was a negative association, and this information would surely imply that women take personal traits into consideration when rating physical attractiveness more than men on average. For our group activity, we decided to replicate the study in a simplified way. Based on the previous study, our group hypothesized that women had more preferences when rating physical attractiveness than men.
To test our hypothesis, we created a 9-question survey on desired characteristics in an intimate partner. 4 of the questions were based on physical attractiveness. The other 4 were personality-based questions. The final question determined the participant's sex and/or gender. The survey gave 2 options for each question that were based on personal preference, but all questions had a third option labeled no preference. The point of the survey was to see how often participants selected no preference, and if there was a significant difference in how often the different genders selected no preference. We theorized that the female participants would be more opinionated and would select answers, while the males would be less opinionated and select the no preference option more frequently than women. We uploaded the survey to a publicly available survey website and entered the results into SPSS.
The results. A one simple t-test was conducted based on participants' responses. Results indicate that women had a significantly higher rate of personal preference. Women selected a personal preference 74% of the time, while men selected a personal preference 67% of the time. Based on the significance of less than 0.05 of the t-test, the results are considered significant. This confirmed our hypothesis that women are statistically more likely to be opinionated than men when it comes to personal preference in an intimate partner.
The data in these studies is important because it can help us see how social psychology affects how we see other people and the world at large. Our own personal preference and how we judge people is so easily swayed and can create personal bias within us. While everyone is entitled to their own opinion, we must be aware that beauty is defined within a social context. What is desirable to some may be undesirable to others. We must all use this information to become aware of how our own personal definitions of beauty are affected by society around us. This concludes our presentation about gender differences in physical attraction. We hope it's been educational. We have included a poll to help put the message of this project into effect. The goal of this poll is for everyone to take inventory of their own personal preferences and see how they compare to others around them. Feel free to take this poll alongside someone you trust and see how your answers compare to theirs. Thank you so much for listening.